Hello and welcome back. It's puzzle time with Sudoku Sleuth, and today we're going to be playing Pickleball. Now, I don't know why Sleuth is dressed up as he is whilst playing Pickleball. I wouldn't recommend it. I get the whole thing about looking good and dressing well. I mean, every now and again, Mrs. Sleuth reminds me how good I look in a suit and kind of hint, hint, dress up a bit more. But certainly not something I'd recommend. Now, until actually this puzzle, I used to think pickleball was an American name for paddle. And it isn't. It's actually, they're two different sports. So the courts are different. I think it's not just that the courts are enclosed versus open. I think it's actually slightly different in terms of size, rackets, etc. Paddles. But today's puzzle is, of course, from FullDeck and missing a few cards. So it's been on my kind of backlog for a while as something that I do want to play, and I'm glad that we're actually going to be featuring it today. So let's take a look at today's puzzle and rule set with Pickleball from FullDeck and missing a few cards. It's standard Sudoku, German whispers, and Kropki pairs, which, if you know what all of that means, link is in down below and you know what to do, so feel free to jump right ahead. If you're not sure what that means, quick reminder, well, not quick reminder, let's walk you through it. Standard Sudoku rules, place the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box, so of course no repeats. German whispers, so adjacent digits along a German whisper line must differ by at least 5. So if this cell is a 2, for example, these cells would have to be 7, 8, or 9, as in the adjacent digits on the green German whisper line, to be 5 or more away. This cell here, for example, if it was an 8, well, this cell to be 5 or more away would have to be 1, 2, and 3, and of course I can repeat digits on the same line, providing of course it doesn't break other rules. We've got Kropki pairs, digits in cells separated by a black dot are in a 2 to 1 ratio, and digits separated by a white dot are consecutive, and not all dots are given. So this 8, for example here, it's saying that this cell is consecutive to 8, so this would have to be 7 or 9. If this cell here was a 2, this would have to be 1 or 4 so that it is in a 2 to 1 ratio. So consecutive, one is double the other, and negative constraints do not apply. For example, if there's a 7 in here and is consecutive, not a problem. If there's a 4 in here and clearly in a 2 to 1 ratio, no black dot, no white dot, all of that is allowed under today's rule sets. So, as always, if you want to play along, link will be in the description down below for you to do so. And with that said, I'm restarting the clock and see how I get on. So I'm kind of in, with this white Kropki dot, I'm actually tempted to start with this kind of inner setup. Bit of a shame that there are black Kropki dots here, because obviously they could change polarity with black Kropki dot. They can't with white. So we oscillate back and forth between high digits and low digits. I don't know what's high, I don't know what's low. All I know is every other cell is the same. So these are going to be purple, these are going to be orange, and we have our first clue. We can continue in here knowing that this is consecutive. So regardless of what this digit is, let's say it's a 3, actually let's deliberately use a 4. This can never be a 5. 5 can never be on a German whisper line because neighbors that are 5 or more away would be 0 or 10. So this has to be purple, and therefore these two cells are also orange. How is any of that useful is the question. There's a 5 up here in box 2. Can't have 5 on black Kropki dots. Double of 2 is 10. Sorry, double of 5 is 10. Half of 5 is 2.5. And again, not on German whisper lines. So 5 is restricted. Not as restricted in here. Not as restricted there. Yeah, interesting. I'm actually not sure where to go with this. Normally what happens is you end up with something like 4 colors, 4 of the same color in the same box or row, and it kind of gets close, with purple in here. So it's very unlikely that this is purple, but it still can be. And again, same here, we've got 3 oranges. It's very unlikely this is orange, but it still can be. Maybe let's use this for a second, because we've got 2 of the same color and then another one. I don't really want to do this, but I may use another set of colors. So I've used purple and orange. I'm going to use green and yellow on this outer line and just see if that helps in any way. So you can see, for example, down here that I have 4 oranges. Whether orange is green or yellow, I've used all 4 in this box. I've got 3 of each. So interestingly, yellow, whether it's purple or orange, it does put a bit of pressure. So if it's orange in here, in the column, as I pointed out earlier, there will be 4 of them. If it's purple, well, in box 6, there will be 4 of them again. So it does apply a certain amount of pressure regardless. Now let's think about what that means. I may have to pencil mark these. I'm trying to avoid it, especially since a lot of them. So we know that German whisper lines can't have 5s. The other fairly restrictive digits would be 4 and 6. You know, if this is 4, this would need to be double 9, which is not possible. However, actually, this can be 6 with a double 1. The reason it can't be 9 is, again, on the black Kropki, but 1 in here and then 2 there is actually fine. So there's generally, because they tend to go diagonally and crossing across boxes, there's generally very little restriction going on here. Where am I going with this? So, okay, let's think about the information we've been given. We've been given these black Kropki dots very clearly for a reason. Very clearly for a reason. I know that one of these, potentially 2 of these, are different polarities. Because green is consistently the color that's being matched with either purple or orange. So one of these is going to be 3, 4, 6, 8, potentially both. If, you know, it's orange that's high with a green low. Let me try it the other way around. Green has to be low. That's now very obvious now that I'm kind of pointing it out. The reason is, if green is high, well, one of these, either orange or purple, would have to be high. And then I can't have 6, 8, which are the high digits, be paired up on a black Kropki dot with anything other than a low digit. 6 would go with 3, 8 would go with 4. So green is definitely low, yellow is definitely high. So that's a tiny bit of progress. And I can obviously reuse, you know, the green and yellow again now that I know what's high and what's low. Now this low in here can't be 4 with a double 9. So I know it's 1, 2, or 3. And therefore I know that this is 1, 2, 4, or 6. The 6 is a bit unfortunate. Because remember, there is either 2 blues or 2 reds in here. These can be 6s, can't they? Could have a 6 with 1, 2, 3. No, so this cannot be 6. It breaks because that would be 1. That would be a double 1, in fact. That's fine. And then the 1 would require a 2 back in here. So that can't be 6. It could be 7, 8, or 9. And then presumably for this, no, I don't have a black Kropki dot connecting. So 6 would require a double 1. This will become 2. And I think that's fine. Okay. Then the question is whether purple or orange are high or low. How am I going to force this? So, if it's low, this would have to be 1, 2, 4 with a definite 2. This would have to be, well, this would have to be 3, 4 because this would be a high digit 6 or 8. This would require this to be a 1, no, because it could be 8. And then I've got 1, 2, 4, 3, 4. This one is not 2, but it could be 1, 3, or 4. But it can't be because that can't be 9, so that wouldn't be 4. This would be 1 or 3. Now, technically, I could do 2, 4, 3. No, 2, 4, 1. So I can actually go as low as 7 in here. There may be a more elegant way than what I'm doing, by the way. Like, essentially, I'm kind of bifurcating at this point, exploring my options, and there may be a trick that I'm missing. There's very likely a trick that I am missing. Well, as you can see, making orange low and purple high is working out just fine. I'm not breaking it. I end up with low digits, low digit, kind of indifferent in here. So, not really a problem so far. Is there anything else I can do? It's maybe the better question. Let's try this. Green, yellow. Same discussion around the white Kropki dot. Green again. So, I know, well, I don't actually know. I was going to say green and purple are different, but they're not. Because these could be high, for all I know. Sorry, low, and this is high. So it's not forcing anything. Although technically, I think they have to be different. Notice how the green, there's 2 greens, 2 purples, 2 reds. If I combine green and purple, they would have to be low because obviously I've got 2 reds. But then if you look in column 5, well, I would have to have 6 lows now, and then that would break the puzzle. So green is actually the opposite color. It's orange, and yellow is purple. And finally, 3 oranges plus 2 reds. Orange has to be blue, purple has to be red, and we finally have our polarity sorted. Obviously, there's a bit more to be done here, but like it's progress. So 6, 8, 3, 4. We kind of went through the scenario earlier with 1, 2, 4, a definite 2 in here. This would have to be 1, 3, 4. Can't reuse the 2. 6 or 8. This is 1, 2, or 3. This also cannot be a 4 with 1, 2, or 3. Now, one of these has to be 6. This cannot be a 6. So this is, because it's at least 3, this is 8 or 9. This is again another 1, 2, 4 with a 2. Because remember, it's blues, as in 2 lows. I can't have 3 because it will require a 6. And then in here, it's 1, 3, or 4 again. Okay. Not 4, not 4. 1, 2, 3. Not 6s, 7, 8, 9s. Can't have 4 in here either. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That's a 1, 2, 3 triple. That's a 4. That's actually our first digit. 12 minutes in. Goodness. That's a 9. This is another 1, 2, 3. This cannot be a 9 because that can't be a 4. So this is 6, 7, 8. This cannot be a 9 either. So this is another 6, 7, 8. That's another 6, 7, 8. That's a 6, 7, 8 triple. Nothing stops us from being double 1. Nothing stops us from being double 1. So 6 is in both of these, and here as well. All of that is allowed. Now 7 has to be in one of these two cells to be connecting the 6 or 8. That's not a 7. 6, 8 pair. I've broken the puzzle. What? How did I break the puzzle? So 1, 2, 3, yep. 1, 2, 3, yep. 1, 2, 3, because, you know, they've got 4 neighbors, can't have double 9. And this was high, sorry, this was low, so that's the only place for a 4 with a 9 in here. Now, forget the 9. That 9 is looking across where this is 8 or 9 because this is 3 or 4. So that would have to be 8. That would have to be 3. Sorry, that would have to be 8. That would have to be 6. That would have to be 3. That's correct. And then these would have to be double 1. But all of that is almost like inconsequential. This would have to be 7. Of course, I made a mistake with the white Kropki dot because that could be 9 and that could be 8. And it almost certainly has to be. That was the mistake I made. No 1s in here. That's a 2, 4 pair. This is at least 2. So this is at least 7, 8, or 9. This is at least a 3. This is 8 or 9. There's a 7 for sure in one of these. And this is a 5, 6 pair at the top. That cannot be a 6. Whoa, 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 whoa. No, no, no. I was about to make another mistake. Yeah, that is definitely 3, 6 because the 2... Hang on. That can't be 4 because this cannot be double 9. Can't be 1, so I've removed the 4. What's wrong with this being a 4? Nothing. Right. But I can't eliminate the 6. So this could still be 3, 6. And therefore this could be 5 with a 2 or 4. Okay, never mind. How are we doing for time? Much worse than I was expecting. 9 and 7 means this is 6 or 8. It then means that this is an odd digit because evens can only be consecutive with odds. That 7 means that this is 9, this is 8. Excellent. 6, 8 means these are 7 9s. 7 could be on either because this could potentially a 2, this is a 1. So not much of a challenge. That's not a 1, this is 2 or 4. So one of these is a 4, forcing of course the 9. This is not a 4. This can't be the 4 because that can't be a 9. So that's the 2, that's the 4, that's the 9, that's the 7. Lovely. This 1, 3 doesn't help. This is at least a 7. So this is another 7, 8, 9. Because this could be 1. And I've done a lot of the white crop. This is another 1, 2, 3. Not 1, 2. This is 3. This is 2. This is 1. 4 is not here, but it can be a high digit. So this is, right. So the remaining 3 cells in here in row 5 are 5, 6, and a 7, 8, 9. The 6 and the 7, 8, 9 can't be in here, so that's definitely the 5. This is, they're both high digits with 6, 7, 8, 9. Now this is not 7, 8, or 9. That's 6, and that is a 7, 8, 9 triple. There is a 6 in one of these cells. Well, it can't be this cell. So this is 4 or 5. And then there is a 6 down here. 7 works on this side. 7 works on both of these because this is 1, 2 pair. I'm not going to color things off the German whisper line. Sometimes I get tempted to. The second 2, 3 in box 6 is in here. That's a 4. That gives me 5. That's a 4, 6 pair. Unresolved. This could be anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, not 2. And this is another 1, 3, 4. This can definitely be 4. This could be 4 with a 9 in here, 8, 7. All of that's fine. And 8 is very, yeah, not seeing the chart. In fact, with a 4 in here, that is forced to be a 9. What am I? Come on, sleuth. That's a 9. That leaves a 4 option in either of these, so not helpful. 7, 8, 7, 8, 9. One of these is a 9. Unclear. 2, 3, 1. That's another 2, 3 pair. That's a 5. That's a 1. Remember, do more Sudoku, sleuth, near resolution and all that. Unclear. Oh, no 2. That's 3, 6. So that is 5 with 2, 4. That 5 tells me that's 2, 4, and that's the 5. 2, 4 pair now gives me a 6, not a 4, is a 4. 1, 3 pair means this is another 7, 8, 9, except it's not a 9. So that's a 7, 8 pair. This is 5, 6, a resolved 5, 6. That is also resolved. Excellent. And I think we can move away from this court and have a look elsewhere in the grid at this point. Where am I going? I mean, this is sort of the most tempting, isn't it? Given how much information we have compared to the rest of it. Go on then. Do we know anything about this? Can't say we do, really. So if this is high, this would be 7, 8, because 6 and 9 are not available. These would have to be with 7 and 8. Well, 1, 2, 3. Not useful. Not useful. And then you end up with a 1, 2, 3 triple. And then 4 would end up in here with Sudoku. We're going to move on. Don't know. There must be some Sudoku. So 4 is in one of these cells. I think let's do that. That was Sudoku. 4 doesn't work here because that would be a 9, which is not available. 4 would require a double 9, isn't available. So that's the only place for a 4. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 7 and 8. I mean, like, you know, the mixture doesn't change. The 5 is placed, and then that leaves a 6 in one of these two cells. Well, exactly that cell. And then really it's the 1, 2, 3, because the 7 and 8 are spoken for, whichever one is high. The 1, 2, 3, I have a kind of a degree of optionality, but because this is not 1, that's 2 or 3, and then 1 is forced on this cross. Well, I say cross, it's... Right, where do we go from here? Nothing stops this from being low with 2, 3, nothing stops it from being high with 7, 8. I'm going to move on and hope for some easy Sudoku that helps a bit. 4 is not here, 4 is in one of these two cells, 4 is one of these 3. None of that is helpful. 5 is in here, 6 is in there, 6 in here with a 1 there is fine. 6 is up here, that's 6. That still could be a 4. 6 is in one of these two cells. 9, less helpful. 9 in here doesn't do anything. 5, no 5s, no 5s, no 5. 5 in one of two cells. 5, yep, 5 is in one of these two. That's not 5, that is 5. And then 9 is in one of these two cells. We're kind of running out of potential options in here. It's on these edges. Where am I going with all of this? So 2, 3, 4. So if this is low, it has to be 1. And then 9 and 8, this would be 7 because this is not 6. So like this is very forced if it's that way round. Now if we reverse it, with this being low, I have a lot more options. It could be 1, 2, or 3. and the high digit could be 6, 7, or 8. So not very useful right now. 1 and 4, if this is low, this would be 2 or 3. If this is high, this is 7 or 8. If we reverse this again, 4 and 3 are out. This could be 1 or 2. And then the high digit is not 6, but it could be a bunch of other digits, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, not useful. So if this is low, it's 1 or 3. If it's high, it's 7 or 8. So essentially, this is 1, 3, or 7, 8. Essentially, whatever this isn't. And it's not 8, but there's nothing else I can do. 3 is in one of these cells. Not very useful. 3 is in one of these 3. Again, not very useful. I feel like I'm missing a lot in today's puzzle. 23 minutes. Right, let's just take a look at rows. So I've done everything except high digits. So this is 6 or 7 because it's not 8 or 9. This is 7, 8, or 9 because it's not 6. And this sadly is any of them. Seven, sleuth, come on. 9, 8, 7, 6. No 6 or 7. 8, 9 pair. 4, not 4, 4, not 4. What am I left with now? So I need 1, 2, 3. Actually, all the high digits are done. 6, 7, 8, 9. So orange is low. Purple is high. There has to be a 1 in here. So that's 3. That's 1. And then this is, well, 1, 2, 1, 2. That's 3. That isn't 3. And in fact, that 1 gave me 2, 1. This is a 7, 8 pair. Seems unresolved for now. That's not a problem. That's not 2. So this is high, this is low. I spotted also the 7, 8 pair in here. So that's 7. That is low. And that is high. And I can remove the 1, but 6 is still a possibility. I can remove the 3 as well. And this is a 6, 7, 8 triple. That's 8. That's 7. That's 6. That's 1. On this side, that's another 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. Again, it's a 7, 8, 9 triple. It's not 9 or 8. That's 7. That's another 8, 9. This is 1, 2, or 3. It's 2 or 3. So there's a 1 in one of these two cells. And this 1, 2 is fine. These are still not resolved. Not 9. Not 9 is 9. And the 7, 8s are resolved. 7, 8, 7, 8, 7, 8. In here, I have 4, no, 2, 9. Seemingly unresolved. And 3, 2, which gives me 1. Gives me a 2, 3 pair, and therefore 5 with something. 1 and 5. That's the 5, that's the 1. 2, 3 pair gives me 9, 2. The 9 gave me 8, 9, 8. The 2, 3s must be resolved somehow. That has to be 2 next to the 7. I've ignored that 7 way too long today. And if I've not made any mistakes, 7 in here and 9 for the finish. Beautiful puzzle, full deck and missing a few cards. Not my smoothest solve. For some reason, that 7 caught me out multiple times. Regardless, I hope you guys enjoyed the puzzle and the video, and I'll see you back for the next one. Bye-bye for now.